All right, I'm on the phone with Craig Dagan from the Maine Maritime Academy women's basketball team. And, Coach, another good weekend for you.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously we split and we won 2 out of 3 last week, which is good. And we played reasonably well at Castleton State. Got off to a great start, ended up scoring like 23 points in the first 10 minutes and down 5 at halftime. But we were pretty pleased with where we were at. And unfortunately, the first 5 minutes of the third quarter just killed us. We got down big and we fought it back into single digits, but we could never quite get over that hump. It stayed at an 8 to 10-point game for the remaining 8 minutes or so. And, the kids played hard. It's a tough place to play. They're a good team. And, and against great teams like that, you can't have 5 or 6 minutes of a bad stretch of basketball, and we did, and it really hurt us. But rebounded well. I mean, after the game, the kids' attitudes were great, moving on to the next game, and we rebounded well and took care of business on Saturday and won big at Green Mountain. So, yeah, I mean, we did what we needed to do. We needed to at least get a split up in Vermont. We got 2 regular season games remaining, tonight against Farmington Senior Night and then Saturday against Thomas. And if we win one of our next 2, we secure the 3 seed and we got a home playoff game next Tuesday. Which is
a great thing to have. I mean, to be able to hopefully play at home in the playoffs.
No doubt about it. I mean, that was one of our goals this year coming in. I mean, based off of where we were last couple of years actually being, on the road in the playoffs. We wanted to make sure we at least secured a home playoff game in the first round and give ourselves a chance to get to that Friday-Saturday Final Four. And we've actually done that. We're going to finish. We can't finish any worse than 4th. So, but we want to finish 3rd and at least if we finish 3rd, if we win the first round game when we go into the semifinals, we're playing a team on a neutral floor as opposed to playing Hudson on their home floor in the semifinals. So definitely some incentive to come in 3rd place, and we're looking forward to going out there and competing tonight.
Okay, tonight, as you mentioned, is senior night. You've got 3 seniors that have been with your program for a little bit, and love for you to talk about Mackenzie Vosberg, Maggie McConkey, and then Becca Campbell.
Yeah, it's funny. I just spent the good portion of the morning. I didn't sleep very well last night, and went into the office early this morning to write up the senior script, and that's always a hard time of year for me. It gets pretty emotional, and you start looking back, and the first thing you just start to say is, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's already here." It's hard to believe. Maggie's only been with us for 2 years. She transferred from Central Maine Community College, but it's hard to believe those 2 years have already passed, and she's done a great job. She's started 40 of 49 games while she's been at Maine Maritime. She's been and this year especially, last year was a tough year for her, and she's grown up tremendously, and just her leadership, her poise, and her unselfishness as a player has been such a big piece of the puzzle for us this year, and she's been such a great role model and sounding board for our young players, especially the young guards. And I couldn't be prouder of her just as a person and her growth as a person and as a basketball player. And Mackenzie's been with us for 4 years, and just the amount of time that she's put into improving her game. This is a kid that didn't even start for her high school team, a successful high school team, mind you, in New York, and came here late in the recruiting process and more or less recruited us and has worked tirelessly. And nobody on this team, and very few kids in my entire time here, have worked as hard on their shot and their offensive game as she has. Now, if she had worked as hard on her defense, she might have played more. But and just having a really good year, shooting almost 47% from the floor from the guard spot, which is really, really good, and has shot the ball so well of late, and just a great kid. Once again, another kid that has just matured tremendously in her time here, and Maggie and Mackenzie will actually be back next year. Maggie transferred, so she has another year to complete her degree, and Mackenzie's in a 5-year program, so they'll actually be back, and we've talked about them continuing to be around the program next year, which would be really nice to have some familiar faces and
oh wow,
and just helping out the kids, and they're anxious to be a part of it, which I think hopefully speaks volumes about their experience here to want to continue to be involved. And then you've got Rebecca. Beek's been a special kid. I've known her for a long time, and as part of my speech tonight, I started recruiting her when she was a freshman in high school, and I remember the first conversation that I had with her was ironically against Farmington at Farmington, where she was a 6'2" sophomore, I think it was 8 years ago, and walked by
at Mount Blue.
No, at Central High School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and walked by our bench, and she had never talked to me before, and I looked at her and I said, you're going to look really good in royal blue and gold someday, hon. And she kind of just smirked and kept walking, and here it is, 8 years later, 5 years in our program, and she's gone through a lot from a physical standpoint. Back surgery last year. Gave up a year of her professional life. She could have gone. She graduated last year with her undergraduate degree, had a job, decided to come back, wanted to finish her career the right way. And, she's larger than life. And, she's a 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", but her personality is matches her stature. She's larger than life. She's arguably one of the most popular kids in our school, and one of the most popular student athletes that we've ever had at Maine Maritime. She's got a great sense of humor. When she walks in a room, everybody stands to attention. She's just a phenomenal kid. And I always, we always play silly games when we're on the road. And one of the questions, if you were stranded on an island, you could only bring one person with you, who would it be? And my wife probably doesn't want to hear this, but I'd bring Rebecca because she makes me laugh constantly, and we both probably die of laughter in the first week. So
it puts you out of your misery early.
Yeah, no doubt. So, but she's just a great kid and holds a special place in my heart, and just super accountable. Watch the growth that she's made in the 5 years in our program, and it's going to be really hard tonight to watch this whole thing go down with her, just because she holds such a special place in my heart. And I'm really proud of her. She's already got a job. She leaves Maine. She's working towards her master's degree, and in a couple weeks, I think at the end of March, actually leaves Castine and heads off to the real world and starts her professional career with Pepsi. And just really proud of this group. They went through a tough year. You and I had weekly conversations about.
No doubt.
For them to end their careers on such a good note, and for us to be playing as good as we've played in the last month, and still we'll hopefully get a lot of good basketball left in us moving forward. But the three of them deserve an awful lot of credit of righting the ship and getting things headed in the right direction, and getting not only where we're at now, but setting, to use these nautical terms, but setting the course for the future of this program in a positive way. And I'm really proud of the three of them, and excited for them tonight. This is a night that, I think every senior in some regards dreads, but every senior in some regards really looks forward to, because it's an accumulation of a lot of time, a lot of hard work, and, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of everything. And I'm really happy for them tonight, and looking forward to the experience for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I've gone through senior recognition night at the high school level, and that's more of a time that you honor the entire family, because of all the families, the hours that they've put in together driving, and the missed meals and things like this. But in college, it really is that senior individual, and I mean, honoring the time and effort that they put in, and also the things that they've given up because they've committed to playing on the varsity level.
No question about it. I mean, the sacrifices that they make are endless, and any senior night at any level, or your last game at any level is obviously a special night, especially in front of your home crowds. And for a lot of those kids, as seniors, knowing that they get a chance to continue to play at the college level, there's still something to look forward to. So these guys, this is it. This is the end of the road,
yeah.
Finally. And just to watch that maturation process from coming in as young kids, and, in some regards, immature human beings, and just no fault of their own, just not ready for that next step, and to watch them grow in 4 years from young girls to grown women. It's a pretty cool process. And I tell everybody in the recruiting process, I arguably have the 4 most important years of a young lady's life under my umbrella at Maine Maritime, you know, they go from taking all of these life lessons that they've learned from their parents or whoever it may be that's impacted their life, and now they're on their own and they have to put these life lessons, these moral values to use, and we get an opportunity to help shape them and get them ready for ultimately the biggest challenge they have in their life, and that's to head out into the real world, the professional world, and to be on their own for real, so to speak. And there's no safety nets in place anymore. Like, you got to go out and you got to work, you got to put in the time, but it's a really cool process, and you know, just to watch how and to see how much they've grown. It's crazy, the transformation of these kids from 17, 18-year-old freshmen to 21, 22-year-old, and in Beek's case, 23-year-old fifth-year seniors. It's pretty cool, and it's arguably, Chris, the best part of my job.
Well, let me share this with you, because I posted this today on the MDI Trojan Athletic Department page, and it's perfect for fitting in with what we're talking about. It says a coach's worth isn't found in their one-loss record or on their resume, but in the impact they made on the game and in their players' lives.
No doubt. It's actually funny that I posted that. I saw that last week, and I didn't post it. Somebody posted it on my Facebook page and Twitter, and I had one of my seniors from 2 years ago respond to that, and it was quite eloquent. She wrote, "Coach, nobody really cares about your 250th win." And that was exclamation, exclamation. And I was like, wow, that's an interesting thing. And then she posted again a second later. She goes, ha ha. She goes, the impact that you've made on my life is far greater than any win we ever had. And that's what it's all about. Yeah. You know, and you're right. And, you know, at the end of my time, and people ask me a lot, you know, what is it that you want to accomplish? What do you want your legacy to be? It has nothing to do with wins and losses, because those are just an accumulation of a lot of people's hard work. In a lot of different ways, and that's more a tribute to the players. But at the end of, when it's all said and done, and you know, with the three kids that are graduating tonight, the impact that I have on their lives outside of basketball is far more important to me, and those lifelong relationships that we establish are far more important to me than anything we'll ever do on the court. Now, on the court is obviously a part of the scenario, but and you know, and I think that's the part that I think some people. It gets lost in translation for them at the high school level and at the college level. You know, parents, fans, they get caught up in what's going on in the game. And I went to high school games the other day, and it's just crazy the things that parents are saying to players, to coaches, to officials. And really, folks, it's not about that. It's about the life lessons that those kids are learning through competition. It's about the life lessons and the relationships that those kids have with their teammates, with their coaches, with the fans. And I think sometimes people get caught up in the wins and the losses and living vicariously through those people as opposed to enjoying the process with them. And you know, that's what it's all about, because when it's said and gone, you can't have those moments back. And I think people should step back and enjoy those moments a little bit more and not get caught up in the results and focus more on the process. And that's what we talk about all the time at Maine Maritime. It's about the process and not the results.
All right, Coach. Good luck tonight. Don't cry.
Well, I'll try not to.
And then we'll talk to you next Tuesday and figure out where everybody's gone and going. And best of luck this weekend.
All right, I appreciate it, Chris. You have a great day.
You too.
You have a great day.
You too.
You have a great day.